Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. We're saying a big hello from the Hoboken Historical Museum, and we're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. This is Hoboken Talks, where we broadcast live on 2 times a week on Thursday. 2 times a month, come on Thursday nights. And we invite what we think are the most interesting people in Hoboken. And tonight is no exception. My name is Bob Foster, and I'm your host tonight. And our guest is Pat Lombardi. And Pat is an amazing person and a Hoboken personality for sure. So let's welcome Pat.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm excited to be here.
We are so happy. Also letting you know that we love to get participation from our audience. And there's some chatter out there already that Pat's on the show.
Okay.
And all sorts of comments. So we love to get your comments. You can text in on YouTube. And that is our home base. And if the comment is appropriate, we will let it fly and read it out and make it part of the program. This is such a great opportunity for you to meet Pat, unless you already know her, and that's good too. I always like to start off with our background photo, which is not, we'll go deeper, we'll go back further in time.
And just to let everybody know, it's not The Bachelorette.
Okay, so what is it?
It's Hoboken Talks with Pat Lombardi.
Gotcha, but what's the image we're looking at?
Oh, that's when I was at the Gotham Comedy Club.
Okay, so
I used to do stand-up. It was very difficult.
Tell me about how you got into that.
Oh, I had a pet sitting business in Hoboken for a long time, and I would go to the dog run, and I met an actor who I used to make laugh all the time. He goes, "Oh, you're so funny. You should do comedy." And you think so? And he kept telling me. So finally, I took a class, and that's how I got into it. I'm here for the jokes, Pat.
Yeah, Gene Fernback, I'm here for the jokes, Pat. So you shouldn't be disappointed. And tell me about the first time you performed at a club, like a recognized club, and what that was like.
Well, the first time I ever got on stage, I was shaking so much I almost fell off the stage. It was really, nerve-wracking. But then the first time, it's still nervous. You still get nervous, But then you just kind of get used to it. But it's nice to get nervous, I think, in a way.
But I think they always say that. You got to get a little nervous.
Yeah, because then what would you be doing? You wouldn't really be doing anything,
Sure, but when you're nervous, it can change your speech pattern. You can rush things.
Yeah. I do a lot of improv, too.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Okay, so here's Janice Krez Colin. I'm Pat. I'm a new fan. Oh, I love that.
Oh, I know how. We went to school.
Okay.
Hi.
So a new and an old fan, it sounds like. Cool. And so tell me about growing up in Hoboken. And maybe we could go right to a picture, actually, if we have some early years.
Oh, sure. Let's see.
I'll ask Rand. Okay.
Oh, there I am.
So
I look like one of the Stepford wives. I'm like in shock. Where am I? This is 811 Willow Avenue, just sitting. My mother was she had OCD. She was so clean. She wouldn't let you sit on the furniture.
Really?
So we had to sit on the floor.
Is that a joke or is that true?
It's really true. But when we used to go to Sandy Beach, she made us sleep in the kitchen. She would give us a blanket and a pillow just so she didn't have to make the beds in the morning and we could head right out to the beach.
And no sand in the bed.
Well, no, we were going to the beach.
Oh, you're going to the beach.
But that's my brother in the corner.
And who's the other?
My cousin Richie Alpick.
Gotcha. How old are you around this, in this picture?
I look like I'm 52, but
it was taken in 1952?
No, I was born then, but this I look like I'm like about 35.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
okay.
No, look at that dress. Jeez, I'm kind of like, does it fit me? It looks like my father owned the bakery, all the rolls I have.
Sure.
And that was, I forget, probably 10 or 11. Here I am, Bride of Chucky.
Okay.
That's my cousin Richie. He really wants to be there. He's going to throw up any second. Yeah, that's me, Bride of Chucky, and 9th and Clinton Park.
Sure. And so you call it 9th Street Park, or you don't call it Columbus Park, do you?
Well, we called it 9th Street Park, but...
Right. And this is what? Communion?
My communion. Look at that. Bride of Chucky.
And where's Columbus? Is he? Oh, I guess he's to the right somewhere.
Yeah, they didn't knock the statue down yet.
That's right. That's right. Very cool. Very cool. And did your cousin live in town also?
Yeah, we all lived in the same building.
Really?
Yeah, 811 Willow.
So, like, who? There's several apartments. So, how many relatives were in? How many apartments?
There was. It was a tenement, so like 10 apartments, and mostly everybody was there.
But how many were related to you, do you think?
But my mother had 9 brothers and sisters.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they didn't have TV back then.
Okay. I get it. Scott Whalen.
Hey, Scotty. He's a life member of the ambulance corps. Scott Whalen. We got to get him on.
Okay. I mean, it's funny that landscape probably looks kind of similar now.
Yeah,
right?
It does. I know, right?
That building on the corner, and there's maybe a new building in the back.
That was a factory back then. My father worked there. I think it was white metal. And I think that's what it was, white metal.
Yeah.
They made the tubes. They made the toothpaste tubes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
they made that white metal. Pretty a log cabin too.
So your dad could walk to work?
Yes.
Gotcha. So tell me a little bit about your mom and dad.
Let's see. Well, my father played the numbers. And my mother, she was a stay-home mom, and he went to work and the usual things, and we played outside in the street when you could. I mean, I'd be out all day playing in the street. And I remember going around the corner on 9th Street. There was a German place there.
Colin Flynn, that is the Queen of Hoboken.
Thank you, Colin. He was one of my clients when he lived here.
Nice.
And I used to go to a German store. They used to make their own potato chips.
Really?
Oh my God.
Where was that?
Right off of Willow, between Willow and Park, next to Torner's.
Okay.
And
right by Lisa's deli.
Before this way.
But around there.
Yeah. And 6 cents a bag of potato chips.
Wow.
And oh my God, and they would have them right there, make them up for you, and oh my God, I never tasted anything.
You could taste them now, right?
I could. They were the best potato chips, and then they used to have the candy apples for a nickel. Show you how old I am, right?
Gotcha. But the food memory is important.
No, I know it is. It is.
That's
the candy. They had the penny candy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was our candy store to go there.
Would your parents let you roam around the city, or do you pretty much have to stay in your block?
Oh, I stayed on the block. Yeah, I never went too far.
Right.
Just stayed around there. I never until I was probably much later. I even went to 7th and Grand. I remember I was on the ambulance at the time, driving down there, and somebody was like passed out in the middle of the street. On 7th and Grand, nobody went that way, and if anybody's passed out there now, they would be run over like 3 times.
Gotcha.
But nobody went down that way.
Right. And was it the type of thing, if you got into mischief, by the time you came home, your mom would know about it? Sort of eyes on the block kind of thing, or?
Yeah, well, I never really got into.
You only got into mischief later in life.
Yeah, later, yeah.
Okay.
When she couldn't beat me up.
Yeah, got it.
And well, I got into a fist fight one time with this girl when I went to Brant, but no, she followed me, and I didn't want to fight. She kept bothering me, so finally she jumped on me. I turned around, gave her a left hook, and knocked her out. And there was a bar on the corner called Swanee's, and the guys were looking, and they're like, "Oh my God!" My uncle was a boxer. My uncle Bom Lombardi, and I knocked the girl out, and then she went to school, and then they called me in the office, and I was going to get in trouble for knocking her out. And then all the guys from the bar went to school to tell the teacher what happened, and I was fine. But they were like, if I was a male, I would have been the next Bom Lombardi. But because I was a female, hey Billy Frida.
Oh, that's Pat's son, right?
Yeah, he was Joe Buccino.
Joe Buccino.
Hi, Joe.
Wow. Okay, a lot of good old Hoboken.
I know.
So
they're all from the ambulance corps, yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Like how everyone supports each other.
Oh, I had a lot of good friends down there.
Sure. And we'll get into the ambulance corps a little later. Tell me about school. Were you a good student?
I was all right. I was all right. I didn't really like school.
Right.
I was the class clown.
And so that's kind of the comedy connection, you think?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, if I was a male there too, they would have. Who back in the day, only ones were male. That's who it was at the time.
Right. That could be interpreted different ways.
Yeah.
Who would be your favorite male comic, like growing up?
Oh, I love Don Rickles, and I have his kind of.
I knew you were going to say Don Rickles.
I have his kind.
You have his edge.
I have, yeah. Right? I have his kind of comedy. Yeah.
Sure.
Oh yeah, I like him.
I'm a little scared because I think you're going to start ripping on me.
Shut up, Bill.
I'm Bob, so I'm not worried.
I'm Bob.
That's okay.
Okay, Bob. It's right there too.
It's okay. It's okay.
I saw him go downstairs. Now.
Sure, of course. So let's cut back to some pictures and see what we got.
Oh, wow. My uncle. That's my Uncle Johnny, aka Elvis.
That's a great shot.
That either might be, I don't know if that's Willow Avenue or that could be Second and Jefferson, because I'm half Yugoslavish, Croatian. That's my grandmother over here.
Wow, I'm really looking at this picture.
Vukovic was the maiden name.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And that's such a classic kitchen from.
He's still around too, Uncle Johnny. Yeah,
right? 50s?
He's still here.
Wow.
Him and his other brother. So he's 88.
Wow.
I hope he's watching it. I don't know if he's going to watch it. Yeah.
Does he know this picture is around?
No.
Okay.
I'll have to definitely give it to him.
You got the Venetian blinds, the Philco refrigerator, which is like a mini fridge.
Now, yeah.
I mean, compared to now.
Yeah.
And the wallpaper and the curtains. That's pretty cool. And who would have taken a picture like this, you think?
Someone with a camera?
Of course. No. Wise ass.
Love the Jane. Hi, Jane. The roses, yeah, I do. I love the roses.
Yes.
No, I don't even know. It could have been anyone. I don't even know.
But I meet so many
people. Phone.
Yeah, the phone, the rotary phone. I meet so many people who just don't have any pictures from early growing up. So you kept them, which is great.
I actually got them from my Aunt Ann that passed. She gave me a bunch of pictures.
Okay, got it.
I've been giving them some to my niece. So.
Mm-hmm. That's great. I love the rolled up sleeves too. He's got that, like you said, Elvis. Do you think he's actually trying to be like Elvis, or he just normally had hair like that? Or
I think he had hair like that.
Yeah. Okay, it's a great shot. Okay, we're going on.
Okay, there I am, Bridal Chucky. And then my brother, he looks like Edward G. Robinson. He looks like 20 pounds of bologna in a 10-pound bag.
Keep it going. And who are these guys?
That's my Uncle Georgie. He's from Apache Junction. He's in Arizona. And that's my Uncle John from the other picture.
Gotcha. And you think same apartment?
This is my mother's house. You notice that there's no dust around or anything.
Right.
Nothing's touched. That's 811 Willow.
Right. And did you kind of inherit this OCD quality of
No, thank God, no.
Okay.
No. No, yeah.
Great shot, though.
Yeah, oh my God, there I am. This is when I was 35. I was 35 with my first husband.
Okay.
That was our first apartment on Willow. That's Willow Avenue, 811 Willow.
Right.
Oh my God, look at me, Stepford wife.
So when you drive by 811, do you kind of do a little nod? I mean, get a little weepy?
Oh yeah. I like not weepy, but it was fun growing up there.
Sure.
Because the whole family lived there. My grandmother, grandfather.
That that was not that unusual, right, for families to
No,
sort of, live on several floors.
Me and my husband. That's
Right.
my cousin Richie. Look at the tie and
Okay.
everything.
Yeah. And so, would it be the type of thing like if you needed some milk, you would go upstairs rather than go to a store? An emergency kind of situation. You would knock
Yeah.
on doors.
Yeah.
And then sometimes the grandparents would babysit for you, or you'd go up
No,
there.
nobody would watch me and my brother.
Why?
We were really bad.
So give me some examples.
We had a babysitter and she quit. She said she hated us. And
Did you torture her?
yeah, but then the one babysitter we did have, we liked her, and she became a psychiatric nurse, and she
had early training.
She really did. I can't believe it. When I started working in the
On-the-job
hospital,
training. Yeah.
I started working in the hospital. She was the head of the psychiatric department, and thanks to me and my brother.
That's right.
And that's why we liked her. I said, "See, Val, we worked out good." She was such a nice. She's retired now, but she's like I think she lives down the shore. But she was really, really good to us.
Do you remember her name?
Valorian.
Okay.
But I can't remember her last name. But I remember Valorian.
That's her first name, Valorian.
That's different, right?
Yeah.
Everybody thought she was, until I started working there, that she was Valerie because they called her Val. I said, no, it's Valorian.
Okay. Okay. That's pretty neat.
And her mother and my aunts were best friends. That's how we got her as a babysitter. But she's the only one we would be so mean to this one girl.
So, give me an example of the meanness.
Well, we just scream, jump up, and run up and down, and not sleep, and eat everything in the refrigerator. And we still did that anyway. But we did listen to Val though.
Okay, interesting. She just knew how to rein you in.
Well, and that she became a psychiatric nurse has to tell you a lot about her then.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
There's me.
Wow. And who are you next to? She's so tall.
I look like a mortician. That's my Aunt Peggy.
Aunt Peggy.
That's me. That's my confirmation dress with the.
So typical, we have Holy Communion and
you have to be and your confirmation when you're 13, 14.
Something. And then did
I think I was 45 there.
Okay. Okay. I like the bunny on the fridge.
Oh yeah. And, that's my mother's house.
Right. And is that the type of stove which would be like gas on gas? It would help heat the apartment?
Heat the whole house, yeah. Exactly. Nobody knows that. So you know that, yeah.
You could burn the dress, actually.
I wish it would have.
Yeah.
Hi, Tony.
Tony Vega.
That's a good friend of mine, Tony.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent. I don't know why, but she looks really tall.
She was pretty tall.
Yeah, definitely. And
this is. I think.
The hat is great.
Well, she just had a couple of drinks, and they used instead of they used the pail and she put it on the head. They emptied it out.
Okay.
Look at that hat.
Yeah. And is this in front of the building?
That's 813 Willow.
Right. I can see the number on the step.
Oh yeah.
813. Classic.
Oh my God! Look at that.
Handbags. And then I'm just going to guess a lot of people, like once you go through the communion and confirmation, religious instruction and attendance is not as crucial in the family. Meaning the parents say, "Oh, we did confirmation. We're at we don't care anymore." Was there that?
Oh yeah. You had to do it to make. Yes, it's always like that. Yeah.
And usually you're making the grandparents happy. Like your parents are stressed out that you get proper training, and then they feel the pressure of the grandparents. I don't know if that's
well, it's just the pressure of you had to do it. You had to do it.
But after that, they kind of
because I went to public school, but they early, and you had to be at the communion and confirmation classes on time, or my mom was scared because the nuns would yell at you.
Or catechism.
Yeah, we had to be at the classes on time.
Sure, but you didn't go to Catholic school. You went to the public schools?
Yeah, I went to public school.
And what was your public school?
Joseph F. Brandt.
Okay, the big one.
Yeah.
Which is still a force today.
Yeah, still there, yeah.
Definitely. And that would just be a few blocks from where you lived.
Right around the corner.
Yeah, definitely. What a great shot.
That came out. There's your friend.
Oh, Pat.
Look at that. It's Patsy Frida.
Wow. And his son was just on.
Yeah, I know. Billy's just there, right?
Salt of the earth.
That's me in the back there.
With the red hair?
Yeah.
The curly hair? That's so funny. That's great. So tell me about Pat.
Oh, he was dedicated. He was a great guy. Oh my God, he loved the ambulance corps, and a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun with him. He was always there. Always wanted to go on calls, and we used to do car washes all the time.
Right. He lived in Willow Terrace.
He lived in Willow Terrace, right, with his wife and
his wife.
What a great person.
Yeah, she was very
They
special.
were always there.
It looks like this might have been a car wash.
It was a car wash. I brought the pictures that weren't rated X. I brought these.
What are you talking about? Maybe we shouldn't.
We shouldn't.
Okay.
I brought the clean version of the car wash.
Okay, car wash. Being symbolic. I got it.
No, it was really a car wash, but there's X-rated pictures. When I do my Hoboken Talks XXX, I'll put them on. When I do my podcast.
Sure, the outtakes. Right.
But,
We'll edit those out.
Frida, wow, I miss Patsy Frida. Oh, he was great.
Mm-hmm.
Look at him. That was a long time
big
ago.
guy, seemed a little gruff, but had a heart of gold.
Oh, yeah. I mean, everybody liked him. I mean, I never had a problem with him.
Sure.
Never.
So the ambulance corps was like doing good for the community, but it was also a social thing, right?
Yeah, it
So
was a lot of fun.
I guess we're going into the ambulance corps. How did you connect with that organization?
Well, when I was 10 years old, I remember my father
10?
Needed oxygen.
Oh, okay.
And my mother called the ambulance. And at that time, because it took a long time for the ambulance, and I heard her saying, "What took you so long?" And the cop said, "Well, we have to take the police car and go and get the ambulance and then pick up the doctor." That was back then. And then, oh my God, that was horrible. Then years later, when I heard that there was a volunteer ambulance, somebody said, "It's right around the corner from your house." So I passed there, 7th and Clinton, and I saw it, and I went over and I asked for an application. And that was it.
Cool. And were there many women involved with it at
not
that
too many.
time?
No.
And was it hard to, shall we say, prove yourself of being part of the crew?
Yeah. Yeah, it was. We weren't allowed to drive. I was the first woman to drive. We couldn't work midnights, and we couldn't carry. But we fought hard to get that changed,
Sure.
you know?
And did you come on with any other women, or
No, just myself.
so? But
Yeah.
you were
There were only 2 other women there.
2 other women.
Yeah.
Right. And you weren't necessarily the first, but you were one of the early ones.
There's Vera. Hi, Vera.
Vera. Wow, Vera's middle name. I'm not going to even try to say it. Slowinski. It's Serata. It's actually not that hard. So I think Vera had other obligations.
Yeah, she's away.
And she's away, but she was going to be busy, but she tuned in.
I know. She was supposed to cut the watermelon on Wednesday, so.
That was another thing, yeah. But she tuned in. Thank you, Vera. Good to hear from you.
Yeah, she said she would.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll probably cut to some pictures of so
Yep, there's
looks
the,
like,
oh my God.
who's in the middle?
Capiello.
Yeah, Mayor Steve Capiello. And, you've been here all your life,
I
but
know.
half the people in Hoboken or more wouldn't have been around when Steve Capiello was mayor, right?
He has us holding his money because we're going to bury it in the ground. That's what we're doing.
Okay.
We're holding a little back. No, that's a joke.
Okay, definitely a joke.
And look, I have legs.
And Vera, look at her picture. She's like in the library. She's in the Ukrainian library, I think.
She probably is.
Cool shot.
You never see me anymore in dresses. That's the last time I haven't worn dresses in this century. But look, there's Joey Buccino's up there. Mike
Where's
Lisa.
Joey?
That's Joey
Oh,
Buccino.
yeah, I recognize him.
Mike Lisa. That's Anthony Enrico. Me. Who's that? Ralphie Gallo. Carmen Adio. Charlie DeTrizio. And Eddie White.
Wow. You
got
everyone.
Yeah, I was with them for a long time on the ambulance corps.
Sure. And where do you think where would this be? Union Club?
No, this was Stevens. We used to have our dances up there.
Oh, big time.
It was near Easter.
Right. Gotcha. And very cool. You look great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
More legs. Look at that. And that's Tommy Vecchione. You remember him? He worked for the city.
I don't think
You
so.
know him? And that's Steve Richavansky, me, Antoinette Fiorentini, Nicky Menenti. He was a police lieutenant. He's retired. Charles Latrizio. And in the back is Larry Serby. I know everybody.
I know that name.
He was
and Latrizio.
Serby. He was the ambulance corps president before Tommy, but he has hair. That's what is so amazing.
Okay, that's
Yes, he's so amazing.
That's a good.
I keep it over my legs. I like those shoes. I never even knew I had shoes like that.
So, tell me about what it's like being, those early years on the ambulance corps. We've actually just recently connected with you. You volunteer
Yes.
at the museum.
Yes.
You're here a lot. We love having you here. But I think you connected with us because of the exhibit that
With
we
the
have
fires.
on,
Well,
with the fires.
I was a volunteer I worked on the ambulance to all the fires.
Right. So when you saw we were doing this exhibit, you were kind of curious, and
Yeah.
it kind of brought a lot of stuff back.
Yes, that's what it was.
And,
Definitely. I want to make sure you were doing it right.
Right. And we had a guest curator, Chris Lopez,
Yeah.
and we had a lot of our other staff support. So did we do it right?
Yes.
Okay.
I told Chris he did an amazing job.
That's great. It's
It
good to
wasn't
hear.
even born yet. He did a good job.
Right, right. So what years are you with the ambulance corps?
I was there from 73 to and end of 85, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, gotcha. And so you might as well, I'd love to hear your perspective or just memories of the fires and from the point of view of an ambulance corps driver. Were you driving at that time in the late 70s, early 80s? Or
Yeah, by the late 70s I was. Yeah,
Right.
well, I lived 602 Clinton at the time, and when the calls started coming in, because I was right down from the ambulance corps, and Antoinette was a police dispatcher, and she'd call 2, 3 in the morning, and I'm like disoriented, and get the rig, something's on fire, whatever. I don't even know. So get dressed, and then I started to get where I would have my shoes, my socks, everything right there, all ready to put on to be out, because they went on for almost 10 years running out to the fires.
Right.
And that's what I did. I would be on 6th and Clinton. I would live there, run down the block, get the ambulance, pick up Larry, pick up so and so.
So they wouldn't come to the building. You would pick them up at their home?
Yeah, I was right there. I would get the ambulance or 134C. I would get that and pick them up.
And you'd put on the siren, and
Yep.
when you got in front of their house, you just beat
Well,
the horn? No. Eric
Yeah,
Hammer,
thank
very
you.
nice driving for the ambulance corps. Thanks for your
Yeah,
service.
thank you.
Eric's a big supporter of Hoboken Talks.
Oh, okay. I have to
Where
meet him.
If we don't get him chiming in, we get concerned that something might be going on. So good to hear from
No,
you.
so I would pick them up, and I would call them. They'd be downstairs because no cell phones. So
Of course.
So I'd call them, and they would be downstairs waiting for me, and then we'd go to the fire.
And so how many people would go generally?
Well, there would be the ones I picked up, and then whoever just heard it on their own would come over, and whoever was on duty, and then other ones would go pick up another ambulances, and then we'd go, and the police would be there, and we'd hang out with the police.
Right. But this was like being in war or something, right?
Kind of was. I mean,
it's hard. How old are you then?
I was in my 20s.
Okay, but still a lot to take in emotionally.
It was, yes.
And so you show up at the scene of this fire, and so Jean Barenbach is asking who started the fire.
I refuse to answer
That's
on
a
the grounds.
complicated story. So
I refuse to answer that. I don't even know an answer to that.
That's
so
right.
I'm
That's
not going into that.
come
That's
to
for
the
sure.
exhibit and explore the topic.
I don't talk about that on camera.
Okay, but it's
You know what I'm talking about.
so there's a fire. Give me an example of one fire that really sticks in your mind. Like the address or approximate.
No, 133 Clinton.
Okay, and that's one of the
That was
earlier
where La
ones,
Concha was.
right?
And I remember getting there, and some families got out, but there was people trapped. But then, we were there, and I remember them take the crane coming. That's another site we used to have in Hoboken. Every week was a crane
to take down the building.
So the crane, as the crane is knocking the building down, they get to the 4th floor, and the guy is completely burnt, laying in his bed.
Wow. So that's after the fire.
And that was
next day, a couple
days.
Laying
in his bed, he never moved.
Wow. So he died from the smoke inhalation, and things just got worse. So, but take me back to the Clinton Street fire in progress. Are you there while it's burning?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and what's the scene like?
It's chaotic, and you have to be ready. Like I remember the firemen running that they had somebody, and we ran over the water, the pipe, the hoses to get the person with carry them.
Right.
And then a fireman might need oxygen, because back then the firefighters, they didn't have Scott packs.
Right.
So they need oxygen all the time back then.
Sure. So there's someone taken out of the fire. So a resident is evacuated generally by the firemen, someone who might have been trapped, they're alive, and you take them
St. Mary's
Hospital.
And if anything, they would take them, they'd keep them, stabilize them there, and then eventually they would send them to St. Barnabas Burn Unit.
In Newark?
That's where it is, I'm sure.
I think so. And then how many ambulances did you have?
Well, what do we have? Three ambulances and one wagon that we used, and if there's a fire, everybody would be there.
Right. So you have all of them there.
They would hear on their radio.
Right. Would you call from out of town if you felt you needed it?
When we had the fire at St. Mary's, we called from all over.
The fire at St. Mary's.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. I'm not sure I know. So you're talking about St. Mary's Hospital had a fire.
I think it was 70 something. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But it was during the day. They had to evacuate the whole hospital. An ambulance came from all over the state. Over. And we were taking them to. We were taking them out of the hospital, and where the clinic is now used to be a factory.
Right.
And the man who owned the factory let us put the people in there. And then we were taking people up to the Jersey City Medical Center. They were taking them. Ambulances came from as far as Tom's River.
Wow. Were there fatalities or?
No, there wasn't. No.
Right. I remember during Storm Sandy, that I guess that's 2012. There was the fear the hospital would lose power.
Yeah.
And so they I remember I was standing. I just happened to be walking around. All of a sudden, there, I don't know, 25 ambulances from all over. Yeah. And I guess it was Mayor Dawn Zimmer at the time. She made the call, and I never saw so many ambulances in there. So can you talk a little bit emotionally, like what you go through when you're at one of these fires?
You just act, you don't react.
Right.
And you just do what you have to do while you're there.
Sure.
But when it's over, then you met with other like-minded and talked about it.
And you're talking about it. You got to talk about it.
Yeah.
And then to this day, I'm going to imagine that if you, I don't know, smell smoke or an ambulance races by, you do a little go back to that time period?
Oh, every time I see it, I'll bless myself when I do that,
Okay,
like with a fire truck. But yeah, and if I smell smoke, I'm up like in an instant. I'm up and I'm checking to see where it is. Is it someone else?
Sure.
The building I live in now, thank God, is a fireproof building.
Gotcha.
But I smell smoke and I'm right up in an instant.
I hear that from a lot of people, and I assume that. And then I guess I'm going a little darker here. So someone is deceased from one of these fires. They die in the fire. Where do they get taken? Do they automatically go to the hospital regardless, or?
They would, but we used to take some to. There was a mortuary place in Hoboken. I thought it was on 6th Street. Somebody told me that no, it was where the old Singers was on. I think it's on. Across from McDonald's, where Burger King used to be.
So we're on Washington Street.
Yeah, I'm not sure of the location, but there was a
It was an old
I forget
funeral
his-
home, I think.
Yeah, and we used to bring the bodies there,
Gotcha.
and we would drop them, and he was very morbid. He would lock you in the room and make you look at the body.
Okay. So another image you wouldn't forget.
Well, I remember him telling one of the guys on the ambulance corps, Eddie White, he goes, "Hey," he said, "what size are you?" And he told him, he goes, "Somebody just died. I got a nice suit for you."
That's kind of the
And he's like, "No, thank you.
right.
No, thank you."
Right. I mean, we'll take that as gallows type humor, dark
Yeah,
humor
yeah,
that
dark
you
humor.
do, and many people
I
in
can't remember
police
his
and
name.
fire develop that. But it's really meant amongst themselves,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
It's not meant for public
No.
dissemination.
Feels, second of all,
Feels,
okay.
thank you,
Scotty,
Scott.
thank you, Scotty.
Okay.
That's right, feels. Second
Okay,
to wash.
Right. And then Erica's asking who pronounced the person DOA. That on a roll.
Well, we would have to bring it to the hospital. Back then, only the physician could do it. Now EMTs can pronounce.
Really?
Yeah, back then they couldn't.
Sure. And then you might not know all this, but how has EMT changed?
Oh, they learn a lot more than we have. Yeah.
Sure.
They're allowed to give Narcan. They're allowed to defib, but we couldn't do none of that. They're allowed to pronounce,
Sure.
and we couldn't do any of that. I'm pretty sure they're allowed to pronounce, so you have to be a paramedic. But I know that one or the other, you don't have to bring them to the hospital.
Sure. Gotcha. Wow. Okay. So let's see what we have visually. We have some more pictures.
Oh, okay. That's the Redwood. That's where I hung out. That's where with the cops after we were done picking up the bodies and all. That's Bubbles Rhodes, Francis Rhodes. Me, the Captain and Tennille. That's me. Ray Falco, Captain
Ray
Falco,
Falco.
and Joe Reinhardt. That was a birthday party.
But it's not okay. So, but this picture isn't really representing post fire.
Not, but
It's a
but
birthday party.
it's a birthday party.
You
Yeah,
don't want people to think you're
having a party.
having a
No.
celebration.
No, but I mean, this is one of the places we
Right.
went
You
to.
would
Yeah.
go to sort of
Have a couple of drinks.
self-medicate a little
Yeah.
and just sort
Yeah,
of deal with
now I know.
things.
Yeah, please. I remember I used to take acid. Now I take antacid.
Okay, that's a good line. I like that one. That's a good one. So-
Okay, there's the ambulance corps.
Right.
Oh boy, we loved each other.
So these great hairdos for sure.
I know.
Definitely,
There's Joey Bucino again.
definitely 70s.
Jerry Thornley, Joe Bucino, Robert Stiglick, Charles DeTrizio, Al Palumbo, if you're listening. And that's Charlie's wife. She passed away.
Oh wow.
I think that's Albie's wife next to him.
And this is where?
Ambulance corps on the third floor.
On the third floor.
We used to have a third floor.
Gotcha. So you only have 2 floors now, right?
Yeah.
What happened? It fell apart?
Yeah, it's too much partying up there.
Okay.
Well,
But you got a coffee urn to kind of...
that was for later.
Okay, that's good.
After we're done drinking everything in sight.
Sure. So you're kind of inferring good parties on the third floor?
Oh, we had great parties.
Right.
Ask Barbara next time she comes in.
Okay. I
We had
will.
really good parties there.
Sure.
I
That's
said-
a pretty steep stairs you got to go up, isn't it?
Yeah, I was young at the time. Who cared?
Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
I said, there's me.
Right?
That's Mike Costello. He was a police officer.
Uh-huh.
He's
Sure.
retired.
Right. But he was in the
And
ambulance
that's
corps,
me
too.
when I used to take acid, but now I take antacid.
Okay.
Look how happy I am.
Yeah, definitely.
I worked at the hospital. Oh, look, more legs. I didn't even know I had pretty shoes like that. Can you believe I had dresses?
Very nice. He looks familiar, but
Oh, that's the Reeves, Michael Reeves, and they owned the store in Hoboken, so you might know them from then.
okay. What kind of store?
A general store like that.
Okay.
I never went in it, but I just know that he told me about it. That's up. This is up in Stevens.
Okay. Oh, one
We
of
had the
those.
best parties up there.
Right. Right. You look very happy.
Yeah, you drank what I did. That's me. I was thin there. That's the last time I was that thin. I don't have a dress on. Oh my God, look at that. I got the shag hairstyle.
Loving the cosplay from Jean.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah, it was actually that thin. I'll never see that again.
It's a big chair, though, too.
That's why I looked thin.
That's right. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
There I was. Look.
Wow.
Look at my legs, and look at Wolfie looking. Now, don't forget, I'm one of 3 women in the ambulance corps, so everybody wanted to sleep with me. Everybody. So he's looking, and then you'll see the next picture. Trying to sleep with me, Lacey. What did I tell you?
You're just fighting them off.
Look at that. I mean, yeah. I mean,
It's
the dress,
actually-
the cowboy boots.
It's a beautiful photo. I can't figure out whose leg and whose shoe is what.
It was the 70s.
Yeah, okay.
It didn't matter.
Gotcha. Tony
Diva. That's my friend Tony.
That's good.
He's a DJ.
Okay. And
Oh my God, it was so much fun up there, though.
sounds like the days.
We had a lot of fun. Yeah, the ambulance corps was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. And you were doing good things for the community too.
And we did. Yeah, and, it was just us, and yuppies weren't here yet.
Uh-huh.
So we had a good time. We had a very good time.
Gotcha. So as you've seen a lot of changes in Hoboken. Do you feel as kind of born and raised that you're, in the minority now?
I made it like a whole hour without cursing, and now you want me to stop cursing?
No.
Oh, yeah, definitely in the minority, yeah. Especially with being older, too.
Right.
But definitely in the minority.
Are you angry about it or just accepting of it, or you just make good jokes about it?
I make good jokes. I have a lot of jokes about it.
And so you deal with it.
I even had, when I had my pet sitting service, all my clients were yuppies. And they loved being yuppies. Well, that meant you had money if you were a yuppie. And I used to make fun of them all the time, and they still paid me. So they loved the jokes. They were actually at my Gotham comedy club. They come to see me. So
what are some yuppie jokes?
Well, some of them I really couldn't say on here.
Okay, I appreciate the candor.
But I have some. If you come and see me, if I go to the barbershop, I'll let you know.
Okay, so you have a gig coming up?
No, but I plan on it now that I know about it. And I'm thinking about the jokes that I have.
Okay, we'd love to revive your career.
Do a little bit of that,
Yeah. I mean, we could do a venue at the museum some night. How long is a segment with comedy? Because usually they have a few comedies.
You'd have to have a few because, I mean, I used to get up. I mean, I could do like 10, 15 minutes.
Right, so you get 3 people, right?
But I stopped doing it because, you go to these clubs and the owners of these clubs, they want you to bring the people and they don't want to pay you.
Right.
That's why I'm a psychic medium.
Okay, so let's see. Do we have any images to back up your psychic life in this program?
No, we didn't.
Okay, so we probably should talk about that a little bit.
Well, I have a website. It's a Hoboken Medium for People and Pets. If you want to log on and book
That's Jean. Yeah, historical museum comedy. We often
No.
In the old days, we used to say it's the Hoboken
I
Hysterical.
was going to say that it's the Hysterical Museum.
So-
we have a place in New York, in Chelsea, called the Hysterical Museum.
Okay, well,
Comedy show.
we need one in Hoboken.
But yeah, that's my website if you want a reading.
Right, we don't want to send them to the website right away, though. So tell me how you got into. Actually, you talked about growing up. You felt you had psychic powers.
I know. I always did. From a little kid, people would come to visit, like when I was 7 or 8, or no later, and I would say to my mom, "They're going to die," and then somebody would call and say, "Hey, guess who just died? The person that was at our house the other night."
Was this the babysitter thing?
No, she didn't die. No, she's still alive.
Good.
So the person would die, and then my brother would oh my God, he'd say, "Are you going to kill us?" I said, "No, I don't have that power. You would have been dead years ago."
So you've been professionally, you would do readings for people?
Well, no, I know I had it, but you have to learn how to do it. So all these years I was taking classes. You have to do it right. I don't want to, I want to do it the proper way because I want you to have a reading and I want you to leave feeling better than when you came to see me. So I have to learn how to do that. And it takes a while to learn how to do that.
But you need to have the basic psychic power before you take a class.
Yes.
It's not learned, but it sounds like
It's not, yeah, I had the power, but you have to learn how to say things.
need
Yeah.
the protocol so
Yeah.
you don't, mess with people too much.
Yeah,
kind of
exactly. You don't want to, you don't want to just scare them to death.
So, how long were you doing the people readings?
I only a couple of years, not too long.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then you have segued this into pets.
And it was superb.
Okay, Vera said Pat did a reading for me, and it was superb.
Thank you, Vera.
Okay, and do a reading of Bob's pet. I don't have a pet, so I don't know if she's referring to
You're
me.
the one that crossed over.
Okay, across that meaning passed on.
Yeah.
There are pets in my that have pets.
Yeah,
over.
yeah. I remember you had the cats.
Oh, that's true. Yes. So how did you segue from people to pets
Well,
in terms of readings?
Well, when I started I wasn't doing readings yet, but I knew I had the power. But I started my pet sitting business, and I was petting the dog, and he told me, he said, "You got to come back at 4."
This is the dog.
Yeah, the
Okay.
dog. Yeah.
And you heard an audible
No,
voice.
no, but I heard it in my mind.
Okay.
So I'm like, what? So I just ignored it, and then he said, "We got to come back at 4." And 4 o'clock, and it was Colin Flynn. It was his dog.
Okay.
Who the first dog that ever told me anything, and he got to come back at 4, and he did, and he called, the phone rang, and it was him, and I went back.
So he spoke through Colin, you're saying?
He spoke. The dog told me what he heard his owner saying earlier, that I had to walk him.
Okay, got it. We just had a brief comment from
I want
Irene.
one.
She says,
sure.
I want one. So
Sure.
I'm not sure if that means she wants a pet reading or a human reading.
Well, either one.
Okay.
I'll be here Sunday.
MT Blanco, I met Pat when she came up to me and told me how my dog wanted to let me know how much she appreciated my taking her out boating. She was right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hi, Melissa.
That's great.
And then one dog told me, the one dog said, he told me, kill all the uppies. That was
Is that Son of Sam?
Son of
Son of Sam.
That was Son of Sam dog. But I just ignored him though. But
Okay.
that dog, yeah.
That was a joke, right? Okay, just want to be sure.
That's the first thing.
Yeah, most people don't know who Son of Sam was. So
No,
it
nobody
probably
got
won't
that at
work.
all. I remember it was in the 70s, and of course we didn't have cell phones, but we heard that he was in the area. So I was on the ambulance at the time. I took 2 friends, said, let's go. We heard it was down the back, all the way down the back meant like where ShopRite is. So let's go. So they come with me. I said, I have my switchblade. Let's go. And they follow me. So in my car, they believe me. So we go and we're down there, and I pull over, and the cops said, "What are you doing here? Because you didn't go down there. It's like by the viaduct." And I said, "We heard the Son of Sam is here." He said, "Get out of here! Are you crazy?" So.
But you were just being like mischievous, right?
Well, we thought he
it's
was
not
dead.
like you heard. It wasn't a psychic thing.
No. We just heard that he was there, that he was in Hoboken, like word of mouth,
Gotcha. And so you're saying like you're sitting like on a park bench and a dog goes by and you can hear what the dog is thinking?
No, it's not like that.
Okay.
I'd have to tap into his energy.
And that means he's spending time with you, or how do you tap into his energy?
Well, I'm empathetic, so I pick up the energy.
Right.
An empath, so.
Oh,
yeah, they do, yes. Oh, yes.
What a good question.
Yes.
Thank you, Jean. Great sense of humor.
I actually had a client brought in 2 cats, and the cats were cursing at me, and I'm like, excuse me. I said, do you cats always curse like this? They were like, F you. And the cats and the woman got, it was a couple. She got so embarrassed, and she said, my husband curses all the time, and they must pick it up.
They pick up on it, just like a kid.
So, oh my God, yeah, they were
That's
cursing.
funny.
Oh my God, it was and she was I felt bad for her. She was so embarrassed.
Oh, that's really funny. So do you I guess I'm putting you on the spot. Do you enjoy doing a reading of a cat or a dog more than a human?
I prefer the human. It's hard to do the. It's really kind of difficult for the pets.
I would think so.
It's difficult
to get
because
the feedback.
You know, I was reading this. Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dawn Lawson.
I know, Dawn.
Can you do a reading for me and my pet online?
Yes, we could do Zoom.
Zoom pet readings.
Yes, we can do that.
I've heard it here at Hoboken Talks.
No, I do that. I do it online also. But what was I saying?
We jumped into that, but you prefer doing it on a human.
Yeah, well, because I was doing a Newfie one time, and so the Newfie's telling me.
Who's Newfie?
The dog is a Newfoundland.
Okay,
yeah,
sure.
Yeah. So I was talking to the Newfie, and she was telling me that she was a place that had a lot of trees. So she don't know where she was. So then I said to the owner, "Your dog is telling me she was this weekend at a place with a lot of trees." He goes, "Yeah, we're in the forest." So it's like, to figure out something.
So you work together with the owner to fill in the gaps.
To find out where they are. But the people are usually easier.
I would think, just because they're giving you information that you can work into it.
Well, no, I actually I talk. They don't say anything. I pick it up, and then they can ask me questions when it's over.
And would you say of your clients for all of this, it's more new residents than old timers?
Oh yeah. You got to have the money to have a dog walker.
And a pet reader.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah.
Sure, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So I do it up here, and it's just like 25 minutes. I usually do it. I'll be here this Sunday doing it,
right.
And it's cheaper here.
Okay.
But it's only a little bit of time,
Sure. And so were you one of those dog walker? You're not doing dog walking as much.
No, I don't do it at all. No, just cat sitting.
Right. But were you one of those people who had like 500 keys?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's a lot of weight.
I had a lot of keys with me, yeah.
Yeah.
I did it for like 20 years.
I don't know how you keep track of everyone and things like that.
Yes, Jean.
Jean is right in there. We love it.
Yeah.
Human energy, the same as pet energy.
Yeah, energy is energy, yeah.
Okay. Cool. So...
How does one become a psychic?
Eric.
Well, I don't know about becoming. I mean, I was born with these gifts, and I just learned how to hone in on it.
Isn't there like one of those how to be a psychic for dummies?
Oh, there should be, right?
I think so.
Well, that's like, I'm not only a psychic, I'm a psychic medium.
What's the difference?
I talk to those who crossed over.
Oh.
So when I'm out here, I just basically, I'm doing psychic readings, but if somebody wants a mediumship, I talk to, whoever crossed over. That costs more money because it's tiring too.
Sure, it's a journey.
Yeah, and it's hard to get when you get the...
Tony said, Tony. The best dog walker and sitter.
He used to be with me all the time when I used to do it back in the day.
And
hi, Billy.
And so, just thinking, like, so many people in town. You've lived here your whole life. You're a senior. And do you think Hoboken treats its seniors pretty well? With activities and things?
No, they could do better.
Right. So
they could.
What would you suggest?
Well, we had Zumba, and Zumba, right? We had, and everybody liked it.
You're talking about Zumba.
It's an exercise, right?
But it's on Zoom?
No. It was at the multi-service,
right?
And everybody liked it. We had 2 classes. And then they stopped it, and then they told me the mayor said, we don't have any money for that. I'm like, please tell it to somebody who believes that he doesn't have money for Zumba classes for the seniors.
Okay, so
all right,
a word to the mayor. We need Zumba
back.
Yes,
we want the Zumba back. Everybody wants the Zumba. We have the chair yoga, which we have twice a week, which is very nice, but everybody loved the Zumba so much.
Right. And so how long did that go on?
We just had like 2 introductory classes.
Right.
And I'm thinking about getting a bullhorn and walking past his house on late at night and say, we want Zumba. So if you hear, Mayor, it's me on the bullhorn.
Okay.
Give us the Zumba.
Okay. And then what other services does the multi-service offer?
Well, they do have bingo, but They're
Are
crazy.
you're not a bingo person,
Oh,
are you?
they're insane.
In what
They're
way?
insane. With the bingo, like they'll knife you over $1.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they're crazy, those people down there. I'm scared
They
of them.
go up kind of early, and if you
Oh,
sit
yeah.
in the wrong chair,
And
you're
you
in
can't sit
trouble.
in the chair.
Right.
And because one lady told me a couple of weeks ago, she said, I sat here, they told me to move. I sat here, she said, finally, she said, I'm not moving. Oh, yeah, I said, you have to bring your switchblade and tell them you're not moving.
Gotcha.
Your switchblade, or if you have a gun, whatever, just make sure you tell them and show them the gun or the knife that you put it on the table, and I'm not moving. Okay?
Got to stand your ground.
Oh, God, yeah. But we had an art class with Liz. I mean, she's great.
Yeah.
The art
Let's give a
class on
plug
Tuesday.
for
Oh,
Liz.
Liz.
Tell me about that.
Oh my God, that is a great class because we get everything is included, the art supplies, everything, and Liz gives so much of herself.
Sure.
I feel so lucky to have met her because I know other places don't give all like this, and she gives us a talk before she starts the class, and very inspiring.
I hear that from many people.
Oh my God!
So
I mean,
a shout out to Liz.
She does it there, and then on Wednesday she does it at the library.
Right.
Yeah.
So you know about all these things.
Yes.
And is it through word of mouth, or you go online, or how do you connect?
Oh,
for all these
it's a word of
things?
mouth, yeah.
Word of mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. And are you friends? Oh,
Derek.
here. Sorry, Jean is back. Derek can teach all the Zumba. Hire the best.
Okay, I'll tell
Derek,
Mayor.
of course.
I'll-
Of course.
We'll have to get his number and
Yeah, we
have the
have
mayor.
it. He's
Zumba
been on
and tap.
Zumba
And tap.
tap for seniors.
I ain't
The
tapping.
tap. Got to get those special shoes.
I'm not tapping. I'm lucky I
Yeah.
can walk.
Sure. Excellent. Okay. We
tapping.
covered a lot of ground.
Yeah.
Do we have more pictures? I'm not sure. We're all set on pictures. Are there any other things we haven't covered that you'd like to share? I mean, we talked before about all the great characters that used to be in Hoboken, and there are some left. I always joke that now we are the characters.
Yeah, and-
Do you consider yourself a character?
Yeah, I guess I would. Yeah.
Okay, it's not meant in a mean way or anything.
No.
It's just that people who have the spirit of
But we
old
still
Hoboken.
got the hammer.
Tell me, and here's someone you've referred to a few times, and we don't even really know his real name.
No, I don't. He used to live on 6th and Grand
Uh-huh.
by Willie McBride's, and he works for the city.
Right.
And he's a character.
I think I know who you mean.
The hammer. Hey, doll.
That's it, and he
That's him.
projects, right? Doesn't really modulate the voice.
Right.
It's like really out there, and you can hear him at least a block away.
I know.
So,
Hammer.
and any other folks come to mind?
I can't think of anybody really.
Okay, well, so it's you and the hammer?
Me and the hammer. Oh, Stewie's he's funny.
That's right. We know Stu,
He's a nice guy.
right? But he's sort of he's like a new character. He's a young character.
Yeah, he's young.
right? He's
Yeah, he is younger.
He's still working.
He's
on
still
there.
working. Yeah.
Gotcha. Cool.
So, you know who's a really who's a character? Cosmo
Tell me about Cosmo.
that used to own the bakery.
Yes. What's he up to now?
He works at the senior center, the multi-center, and he's very good to us. On Tuesday, he makes sure we have coffee, cake, and fruit.
Okay.
And he does that for us seniors. He's so nice to him.
So how many people will be down at the multi-service for, let's say, some of the things you're
Oh,
talking about?
Liz's class gets between 10 and 15 or more people.
Right. But bingo is
Oh, bingo. Oh,
a lot,
yeah.
right?
They have a lot. Yeah, bingo. And
Sure.
then
But when Cosmo is doing the food thing, how many people show?
no, he does it every Tuesday.
Every
Yeah.
Tuesday. So on
But that-
Tuesdays, how many people you think go through?
Oh, Liz's class about 15 every Tuesday. Yeah.
So Liz's class is on Tuesday.
That's Tuesday, yeah.
And then he's providing food as part of Liz's class?
Yes.
I got it. I didn't
And then
catch
they have Atlantic City too.
Okay, that's a trip. So you take a bus?
Yeah, I don't really like to go because it's the people from bingo.
Okay, I got it. They're
Could be
gonna.
dangerous.
They might boo you the next time you walk in for our class.
Oh,
Be
please.
careful.
I'll
Wear a
go-
big floppy
I'll
hat.
go out the other way.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, I'm not
Sounds
really
good.
too crazy about gambling and that long ride on the bus to Atlantic City anymore.
On the ride back kills
Yeah,
you. Oh, my
I liked it back in the day, but it's just like I've
Yeah.
been there, done that. Atlantic
I knew
City.
you were going to say that. Does that make me psychic if
Yeah.
I knew what you were going
Yeah.
to say? Maybe. Okay, I'll have to take some classes.
Make you psycho.
Okay, so last call. I think we do need to follow up a little bit about the comedy thing, and maybe we can get a few people together and do a night here.
Yeah,
Or even just stories about Hoboken. I've always wanted to do that. So I think
Yeah.
you are our go-to keystone person for that project.
yeah, definitely
on
will.
there. Sure. Okay, so we have a few thank yous to do for just to thank the people who make the program possible, but really want to thank Pat for being on tonight, and always a good speak. And then in a few weeks, I think it's the end of the month, I think it's actually August 31st, we have Frank Hanovan, and then we'll let you know about other programs. Frank Hanovan built this amazing model of the America, a sailing racing yacht that was sponsored by the Stevens family, and he built it from scratch, from a block of wood from Home Depot. It's amazing.
Thanks, Jean.
Jean thanks you, and Jean has appeared on the program a while ago, but it's great to hear from her. The New Jersey Historical Commission is one of our main funders. We just recently got word that we'll get a 3-year cycle of funding for GOS grants, so they are our favorite organization by far. Thank you, Historical Commission. New Jersey Council of the Humanities has been very generous to us and funded our current exhibit on the fires, which will be up until December 23rd. And then all the people listed here are part of our Shipyard Circle, who have also been very generous and are key supporters who make it all possible. Along with that, of course, Eric Kemmer is still here watching to the very end. Eric.
Thank you.
I'm psychic. I knew he was still on. And Iron State, which formerly applied, but they have changed their branding. They are also our favorite corporate entity. They're the ones that have been very generous with our space, which we thank them for every day. Again, mentioning that the fires exhibit has been up for a while. You can see that date of January, but it's still getting good visitation.
Yeah.
Not just to Hobokenites, but from out of town people. And we feel it's an exhibit that everyone should see. There are aspects of it online, but the best thing to do is come in. And Pat is usually here. What day are you volunteering?
On Saturday.
On Saturdays. So if you want to meet, in a sense, a first responder from that time period, Pat has a lot to say.
Yeah, a lot of people enjoy.
And she really enjoys the conversation on there. And want to make note that our new exhibit is in the upper gallery, which is where we're broadcasting from. It's called Patterns in the Palisades, the pen and ink drawings of Peter Fiordalicia, and that will be opening on this Sunday from 2 to 5. Usually the upper gallery is Hoboken-centric, or we try to make it. Peter, who's deceased, spent his lifetime sketching, shall we say, the Palisades. And they're really beautiful. And even though they're somewhat abstracted, you kind of know where they are. This is the view of the Palisades and probably Boulevard East and some of the big buildings up there, I think in the 40s, the cross streets. But I love his line. And we'll be talking about Peter's work actually tomorrow night, Friday, where we'll do a bit of a talk. Rand and I are going to discuss his work. So we're not quite done. That's right. Future events. We keep on thinking it's summer, and we got months and months before September. But here we are, coming up on September, and we have a really unique program that Danny Schatz has put together, which is poets who are connected with the Ukraine culturally or historically or genetically and want to speak about the issues going on there. And our own Vera Serrata is going to be one of the poets. And of course, this is put together with Danny, who is our poet in residence. That looks pretty exciting. And again, you can watch this program on YouTube, and we love to get your comments. Please sign up for YouTube. You can share and subscribe. And a real special shout out to Rand Hoppe, who is the originator of this program, continues to do it twice a month and engineers it, of course, and keeps us on track and is ready to bleep us if we get too risque.
No way.
And there was no cause for alarm tonight, but we think we captured the real Pat tonight. What do you think? Did we do okay?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Okay.
I didn't curse. I'm so happy.
Okay. To be continued with Pat. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Bob.
you. It was good.
Thank you, Rand.